Hi, I'm Keith, and I've got a video here for you on how to use calculated string fields. For this video, we're going to give you a little example of a customer that we're working with that had some specific requirements of having an organization status field that needed to indicate whether the organization was free, whether there was a current opportunity open, or whether there was a closed won opportunity that would make it a client. The other requirements were the field cannot be editable by the reps, and the status needs to be based on the open opportunities, and that the client status overrides all other statuses. Okay, so here we are inside the account. Essentially what we needed to do was create a field that had these options: client free or opportunity open, but it cannot be editable and it has to be linked to the status of the opportunity. So one of the possible solutions to this was to use the opportunity processes and use the ability of the opportunity to update a value inside of the organization to a specific value. But that solution would not work because it would update the most recent opportunity. It wouldn't meet the last criteria that the client status overrides all other statuses. Alright, so what we did is we came up with an actual solution using 3 custom fields, 2 views, and the background workflow engine. So the custom fields involve 2 number fields, 1 calculated string field that has some intermediate fields, and the background workflow engine that the background workflow engine featured the number of opportunities. It shows the number of opportunities by view and then 2 specific opportunities. So here's a bit of a flow chart that diagrams this solution. What we did is we started out by creating an opportunity view that would display the number of clients the background workflow engine turns that into a number. So we create a custom field organization. We just number these for this example 1. It's a number field, and then in the background workflow engine we connect that so that it brings the number of records that show up in that view for that organization into this field. Same thing for the view by prospects. That puts a number field in here. And then what we did is we created 1 custom field, so org CF3, this is the 3rd custom field, with these intermediate fields. So 3A, 3B, 3C, and 3D are all intermediate fields of custom field 3. So real quickly I'll show you the elements of that view. So here's the view here that we called FCP client. This is just a view, so any view that you created, in this one it's looking for stuff that's closed when, that the expiration date is less than or equal to today. So that's just a view. There's 2 of those. And then over here in the background workflow engine, you'll use this one called number of opportunities. And we're going to select the FCP client, and we're going to update the organization custom field that says number of clients. We're going to use the FCP opportunity open, and we're going to update the field that says number prospect. So we've already created those custom fields. So referring back here to our chart, that's the view, the background workflow engine, and those fields. That's all connected. So now we'll go and show you how this calculated string custom field works. Okay, so here's my 3 fields. These 2 are number fields: number client, number prospect, and FCPL status. This is a string calculated field. I'm going to go and edit that field. Now each one of these shows the intermediate field that was created. I'll walk through in just a second and show you how to create those. So when you look at these and you try to decipher this, you'll see here that it says custom field 7248. So you actually have to look up here and find custom field 7248. So this is just like a math formula. What it's saying is if the number of clients field 7248 is larger than 1, then this will return a yes. And so dig into the formula here. This is the if 7249, that's the number of prospect, is greater than 1, then it's putting the value in opportunity open, else it's putting in free. So I'm going to create the fields. I'm going to recreate them so you can see exactly how we've done it. In this example, I'm going to use okay, so here we've got the door, number of client, number of prospect. These are number fields. We'll set those as number fields. Number fields, string calculated. Submit that. So now that I've got those number fields set, I need to go in here to my status string calculated, and I'm going to need an intermediate field. So I'm going to use the string Boolean. So my first field, my first intermediate field, I'm going to check to see if the number of door client is greater than or equal to 1. So I'm going to call that my 3A, my client field. I'm going to submit that. That's an intermediate field. I need another intermediate field. This is my 3B, prospect. And again, this one is going to count off the number of prospect field. And if greater than 1, it's going to, so this is saying if this, then it's going to return basically a Y. You know, it's going to return a yes. So then another intermediate field. So now what I've done is I've completed this and this. So now we'll do this one, the intermediate field that looks at the B3, and if it's true, then we're going to put prospect. If else, we're going to put free. So in this one, we're going to use the Boolean string. So this one, we're going to look at if prospect, then we're going to return prospect. This is the else. Else, we're going to return free. So these are just values that are going to be typed in. Submit that. So now I've created those 3 intermediate fields. So now what I can do is I can use this last field to say if client is equal to Y, which we're doing this formula right here. So if 3B, which is if client is equal to Y, then client, else, then we're going to pull this value in here. So if 3A, then the value is going to be client. Else, it's going to be our 3C, prospect free field. So now you see that formula. Let's go test that on our user interface. Okay, here we are. I've added those fields to the layout here. So what we're going to do, we're going to test this. So we're just going to go ahead and input some values here and kind of bypass the workflow engine just to test this lower section right here, just to test this part of it. So to test that, I'm going to put a 0 in and a 1. You'll notice that this field is blank because this field only gets its value after those 2 are filled in. So after I hit the update, you'll see that if there's no client opportunities and there's 1 prospect, then the value is going to be prospect. So let's set that to 0. So there's 0 of each. If there's 0 of each, then it returns free. What if there's 1 client opportunity and 1 prospect opportunity? In that case, it's going to return client because remember our rule that client overrides prospect. What if there's 3 clients and 3 prospects? Return client because client overrides free. Not until there's 0 clients should prospect override free.